Yo, what's up, guys? I started watching this for some material, and I thought, I got some stuff to say about fights and give some insight on my knowledge. So I thought I would do some commentary and share it with you all. So I'm going to start this here, and we'll go through it. I'll give you my ideas, why this was perhaps a little bit closer than I thought it would be in the beginning, and just some little tidbits here and there. So hopefully you guys enjoy. HBO Boxing had the best production. I very much miss them. I think we lost a lot when they closed down.
And here we go. First punch of the fight is a Golovkin jab. Remember, he lands more jabs than any other top fighter in the sport.
So we're used to seeing GGG as the aggressor, fighting opponents who might be a little bit wary of him because he already started developing a pretty good aura of power, and it demanded respect. Canelo's been fighting professionally since he was a teenager, so those types of things might not affect him as much as they affected guys previous that GGG fought.
He's going to use Triple G's punches against him.
And they do say that GGG is a really good jabber, and he is. And of course, in boxing, that's one of the most important punches. You'll see guys like Floyd start a fight, and really, like, all he does is jab. Unless he immediately knows that he has an advantage of some sort over his opponent. But in his later fights against the more tougher, better opponents, he'd always start with a jab. Jab to the body, jab from the head and move. And that's why, one of the things, Floyd never watched tape, and I'll explain why. So when you're watching tape, you might put together a game plan that's very specific to the fighter that you're fighting. The coach might put it together, the trainer might put it together, and you'll be trained to look for certain things that your opponent's doing and how to respond. Now, Floyd not watching tape, now that can be beneficial for some obvious reasons, but also negative for some other obvious reasons. Because the way a guy fought somebody else might not be how he responds to you. So when Floyd says he doesn't watch tape, he's not creating any preconceived notions at how his opponent is going to respond to him. I'm talking over this. Not a lot happens in this first round. They're sort of jabbing each other, obviously. GGG lands a lot of good jabs, but there's not a whole lot of action. Canelo comes on in the end and lands some harder shots, but mostly they get blocked by GGG's gloves. So when Floyd doesn't watch tape against someone, first of all, he comes out and tries to gauge distance. He's trying to see where this guy's range is, where his opponent's range is, and he'll sometimes use his head as bait. Sometimes he'll stick his head forward, he'll jab to the body, and just get a feeling out sense of where his opponent is. And then little by little, as the fight goes on, he'll keep interrupting him with jabs. He'll use jabs to set up a right occasionally. He'll complement, so if his opponent throws a jab, he might be able to go downstairs with a jab and complement his opponent's movement. He can also, when someone jabs against him, he'll follow the guy's arm as it retracts. He'll stay just out of range and then follow it with like a right over the guy's jab. And one other thing that he does a lot is look for you to drop your right hand, and he'll do a leaping left hook, close the distance, and smother you so you can't do anything. Then the fight will get broken up, or he'll create distance again and disengage. So he is interpreting and learning about his opponent on the fly and responding to them in real time rather than coming in with an idea of what to do. And I think one thing that GGG did in this fight, he was used to fighters behaving a certain way and maybe got used to it, a little bit too complacent, knowing that his opponent could be hesitant to engage, could be maybe a little bit respectful of his power. And you can see GGG's a longer guy. but he doesn't use his range to his advantage. He's staying very much within Canelo's zone, area of influence, area of reach, and he could be doing a better job of that.
Canelo may be the bigger of the two fighters here too.
Yeah, like Roy said, Canelo. Oh, he said Canelo's the bigger of the two fighters. I don't know about that. He looks like he has a lot of presence. He's taking control of the center of the ring now, where at first he was hugging the ropes.
Something close to the 400th time in his life.
Roy, you mentioned it in the first round. Triple G is showing respect.
And notice GGG staring at Canelo's eyes, I think, which is a mistake. He should be paying more attention to his body. Because if you look at the guy's torso and hips, you're going to get an idea of the potential of their movement.
Canelo's slipperiness and counterpunching ability.
Funny thing is nobody's been caught with a clean headshot yet.
GGG's doing a great job slipping. Canelo's doing a good job just tagging him wherever he can. I mean, those missed, right? We'll see. I haven't watched this fight in a while. We'll see what happens when these guys get a little bit more tired. Nice jab from GGG.
And he is throwing the jab to the head.
Look how close they are to each other, though. GGG's not using his distance like he should, or his reach and height advantage. Those are good landing shots. Now, even if they landed on GGG's arms and stuff, I mean, that sucks, dude. It's not really fun to get hit like that. I'm going to try to pay a little bit closer attention to Canelo and what he's doing.
Anybody do to this point in time.
See how he's countering. Okay, nice little slip and a hook. Okay, so this is what Floyd does really well. I'll show you an example of Canelo doing it. So he does he get tagged by this? Yeah, a little bit. So he's almost out of range. GGG throws a jab. It hit, I mean, very, very slight, right? But he follows his arm in, and GGG has no way really of preventing this. He could slip. I mean, head movement after you throw a punch is really important, especially this early in a fight when guys are still fresh. Head movement is super important. As someone gets tired, you can string together punches a little bit better, where obviously you're not going to really move your head. Sorry, that's wrong. You can get away with a little bit more as the fight goes on. So we'll watch that again. So, and you can look for this too. If you're managing distance very well, when someone jabs like this, GGG's weight is on his front foot. And he can't really do much here because his weight is already forward. Unless he steps with his foot or something to compensate for that motion and that weight balance being forward. He's limited with what he can do. And Canelo is still in position here. He's loaded on his right leg and can easily push his hips. And you see what he's doing here. Back to front, right hip back. So 2 planes of motion like I go over in the other video. He follows GGG's arm coming back and lands with his own jab. And Floyd does this kind of stuff all the time. Maybe, I forget, I think this was after the Floyd fight, I don't remember, but maybe Canelo learned it from him. But it's not that unusual of a tactic.
He turns the counter-punching tables on him, but that's not Triple G's game.
Not at all.
Canelo's landed all the good body shots.
Canelo with a definite edge in power punches landed so far.
Now talk about how to throw with power, and naturally you have to keep your feet planted. But there's also a time and a place for more of a flick jab and throwing a punch with a little bit more mobility, which is kind of like what you practice on the double end bag, right? You're not really planting and throwing your hardest shot into the double end bag, because usually you're moving and the double end bag doesn't need a whole lot of weight behind the punch to get moving. So you can practice your speed, you can practice your sort of response to movement against the double end bag. So there's a time and a place, right? Beginning of a fight, you want to stay a little bit more mobile, and you'll see the best fighters, that's what they do. And then as time goes on, they'll sit down a little bit more as the opportunities open up for larger shots.
In the middle of the ring. In the middle of the ring is where you dominate.
Now I'll look at the more specific mechanics with breakdown with pictures and stuff. This is just commentary on the fly.
Then see Triple G land a beautiful straight right lead right here. Not really.
Yeah, good mechanics there. That wasn't like the toughest punch. Canelo's doing a good job with movement. Let's take a look at this. Okay.
But it probably one of his right lead right here. Not really within the body.
All right, here it comes. Yeah, pushing that hip, and you see the hip ends, the arm keeps going. How much does it land, though? Let's see. Oh, that landed. Yeah, that landed.
No real power on it because Canelo went with it. But it was probably one of his best punches landed to the head so far.
One of the best punches landed to the head thus far. It was a good punch.
You know, I suggested before the fight there would be no feeling out. To a certain degree, there has been a feeling out process.
That's what it's been so far.
There has been.
And every punch Golovkin has landed in the fight.
You have to. These guys are, unless someone is so dominantly better or really knows something specific about the other fighter where he has a tremendous advantage, you're going to see something that's a little bit more even as far as the relationship.
Good body shot by Canelo.
Round 3. Canelo looks to be doing pretty well this round. I am not like formally scoring it. I think GGG won the first round. Canelo could have won the second round. But then again, GGG had a good shot maybe towards the end of the round last round, which could have punctuated the round for him.
That's the difference in Canelo and other counterpunchers. He can knock you out with one shot. And Triple G is respecting that, perhaps too much early on.
Those weren't really landing that well.
Triple G is also a pressure fighter. Sometimes it takes a couple of rounds for those guys to get on track, though not usually for him.
Nope, not at all.
It seems that GGG is utilizing his reach a little bit better, and he's become better at understanding Canelo's range.
He looks a little uncomfortable right here.
He's being outboxed.
Yes. Something he's never had to deal with.
This is a good round for GGG.
Left hook from Triple G.
Yeah.
Right there,
Canelo looks.
he didn't see confidence with it.
Oh, now he's
Good jabs from Canelo.
landing some jabs, which is
He
good.
needs to land a big shot here soon, or it's going to be problems for him.
Blocked.
Triple G, that is.
It's not the triple.
There's a left hook for Triple G.
Not that he doesn't have boxing skills. It's that
Now GGG looks a little more stressed out.
and landing power punches.
And what I'm
Power
saying,
shot to the body by Canelo Alvarez.
what I'm saying is the same thing I saw from
Canelo's been taking. I mean, there hasn't been that many like really clean shots, but he doesn't look that perturbed by GGG's shots. Canelo's a tough guy.
Triple G respect him.
That's right. And Triple G missing upstairs.
Nice.
Canelo's slick up there.
Had an open shot at a left hook there and missed it. Did Triple G.
It seems very surprising that the game.
So what can GGG do better? Well, use his range,
The power of the counterpuncher Canelo.
use his jab to the body more.
Willing to go to the body, perhaps fearful of getting countered upstairs.
He is worried about getting countered. What can Canelo do better? I think Canelo's doing a pretty good job.
And of course, obviously, that shows up later in the fight.
So this round, I think, goes to Canelo pretty easily.
Getting a little bit looser, starting to fire.
Sorry, goes to GGG pretty
But
easily.
the hook got Canelo's attention.
Not a ton went on. Some interesting back and forth, I suppose.
Through 3 rounds, Golovkin has thrown more and landed more by CompuBox count, but Canelo has landed the more authoritative punches.
Step on it because he's pulling away, right? You understand? Yeah. Okay. Kill his body.
Here at this moment to get his fighter comfortable enough.
I'm sort of fast forwarding this, thinking that you guys would benefit just from watching fight, but actually you can learn a lot by listening to the cornermen. So especially if you're like really into boxing, listen to what they say. They can offer you some good insight. It's probably 2-1, I would guess. Oh, okay. 2 for Canelo. He gave Canelo the last round.
I like to score fights for guys that do more damage, that hurt you more. And, I thought that Gennady Golovkin outboxed Canelo in the first round. But in rounds 2 and 3, Canelo started throwing power
So
shots.
GGG is way too close. He's getting hit by Canelo's jab. And Canelo, I think that he's got a shorter reach than GGG.
Canelo's landed in real good left hooks. 2 rounds.
I mean, I speak from the perspective. My perspective is that Floyd is one of the best fighters, certainly of our generation, but one of the slickest, best fighters ever. So I look at him as sort of the gold standard, and tend to compare other fighters to him.
Canelo is totally focused right now. Now Triple G is steadily trying with that
It is. GG's real close to Canelo. Those both missed. That landed a bit. Kind of a clubbing shot that didn't land that well.
Could he win a fight like that against Canelo? Or did he have to really put his nose in there and force things against Canelo to win? He's not doing that so far.
Nice glancing blow off the shoulder.
Paying a ton of respect to Canelo's power. Boxing instead of punching.
Good jab landed from Canelo there. Those both missed from GGG.
Landing a lot, but mostly landing jabs. Now here's a body shot.
Good movement from Canelo. He's moving a lot, making GGG miss. He's anticipating where the shots are coming from and moving with them very well.
He's usually good at touching guys like this when he has them on the ropes.
I think Canelo's GG's just looking for a large shot here, which is, I think, a mistake. He could be busting him up just with cumulative damage over time with smaller shots.
Right-hand body shot by Triple G.
Then again, when he has him against the ropes, he kind of probably feels that he has to land something bigger.
Having a much better round in the fourth, I think.
And blocking Canelo's body shots with his arms. Lands a left hook upstairs, partially blocked, but still, he's the aggressor in this round, Gennady Golovkin.
He is. Is he that effective, though? I don't know. All right, let's look at what he did there. So this time, we got a jab from Canelo that is a glancing blow, deflected. And then just like what happened the last time, GGG comes back over the top of the jab arm and lands a pretty solid shot. And look at his body position. That's good. He's on his mark, on his back foot. And he's moving forward with good mechanics, lands, and then you can see his fist moving through Canelo after the point of impact. So look for those types of things when you have the opportunity. Gauge your distance with your opponent. Try to stay right at that zone where you might entice them to throw because you're close enough, but also you're far enough to be able to move slightly and make a miss, and then you can come over the top with your own shot.
This is what he didn't do in the first 3 rounds. Gennady Golovkin appears in round 4 to have finally arrived in the building.
That's right, Jim. Well put.
Yeah, he's turned it on this round a bit. Let's see if we can get any insight from the cornerman.
Smiles as he comes back to the corner as if to say, okay, now I'm ready.
And then I want to see him. Bring him down, okay? Stop him, okay? When he gets up against ropes again. Very, very good. Deep breath. Okay, here we go. Round, hay que estar llaveando más. Hay que tener el round más constante, hijo.
Be more constant with the pressure.
Más constante en tu ofensiva.
Be more constant with that offensive attack. 3, 4 punches out. 1, 2,
Canelo's a
you're
super
out.
tough guy.
If you're going to stay there in the inside, in the middle of the ring, cover up, block, and counter punch. All right? Flex your waist. You slip the punch.
Good advice.
Throw the jab. Jab, jab, jab. And then you flex the waist so the right doesn't get in here. How do you feel him? How do you feel him? No?
In round 4, Triple G landed 18 total punches. His high number in the fight so far. 9 were jabs.
All right, was it round 5?
Now we go to round 5.
Interesting to see how Canelo responds to that.
Maybe I'll
first
do
round.
Floyd versus Canelo. I'll watch the fight and
He
comment
allowed
on
Triple
it.
G to do that round.
See what he
came
does
back to the ropes
differently.
himself
I haven't
and
seen
stayed
that
on
fight
purpose.
probably since
It wasn't like Triple G
the
forced
first time I
him
saw it.
to do that. So it's
Ooh,
not
nice
like he
jab
gave
there
up on purpose.
from
He did that
Canelo.
himself because
That I think that it upset GGG a little bit.
So it's not like he gave up
Not a
on
ton,
purpose.
but put him off.
He did that himself because
Somewhat.
by mistake. He did that himself because he choked
I want
around
to take another peek
stayed
at
there
that.
on purpose. It wasn't like Triple G forced him into that. So it's not like
Oh,
he gave
okay.
up
All right.
himself.
So he's also Canelo. This is another example of following. We'll watch it.
Purpose. It wasn't like Triple G forced.
So GGG throws a jab, just doesn't land. Canelo's out of range, and then Canelo comes back and lands. So that's another. That's following. He's following his arm back and
He
landing.
gave up around on purpose. He did that himself because by mistake. He did that himself because he chose to fight that way that round. It's not like Triple G took command of that round.
I don't know. We see that round differently.
Complementing is another thing you can do. I mentioned that before.
I think
It's landing at the same time that the other guy expects to land
escape routes.
by going downstairs when he's going upstairs.
Left hook upstairs. Triple
For
G
example.
so much more confident now than in the early going.
Slipping somewhat, so their jab goes over here, and then you're landing.
Back from the center of the ring.
Canelo
James
is
Toney
in
does that
total
really
control
well.
right now still of doing what he wants to do when he gets ready. That's something we've never seen anybody do with Triple G. That's why I say that Canelo is giving what he wants to give. He don't have to back if he doesn't choose to. He
So I don't know
does what he
why
wants to. We've
GGG
never
stays
seen
so close to
anybody
him
do
like
what they
that.
wanna do against Triple G.
'Cause he really doesn't need
Canelo
to.
Make them do.
already knows that he can take Triple G's best shot,
Yes.
Floyd.
Well, he don't know that for sure because he hasn't been hit with it. But he feels like he's not worried about it. Don't know
There's
that
an
for sure
example
because
of
he
complementing.
hasn't been hit with it. But he
Okay. So you'll see Canelo throw a jab right here. Now, does GGG move somewhat? A little bit, just out of range and just to the side, and then lands successfully. You can see Canelo's head snap back, lands successfully with his own jab. So that's complementing, right? He moved just enough, an inch, to make Canelo miss, and then lands with his own jab at the same time Canelo's expecting to land. So it's a good disruptive tactic to use.
Triple G has so much respect for Canelo's skill, obviously, that he's throwing short shots upstairs without his full power. They're good little short, crisp shots, but they're not his knockout punches.
He's fighting smart. He's doing something that we never
A lot of
seen
people
anybody do before.
on YouTube will say, keep your weight like 60% on your back foot.
Uppercuts inside are working.
It's
for
kind of an
Canelo.
amateur
Triple G kind of leaning
recommendation.
into this from time to time.
You're not going to see a lot of pros do that. Every once in a while, I think Barrera would kind of keep his weight back.
Uppercut with the
But
right
most of
hand.
these guys are balancing their weight really evenly, and their weight is not primarily on one foot rather than the other. It's moving. Their weight is moving back and forth.
And he tries his
I want to take a look at
uppercut
this.
with the right hand.
And it worked.
Okay, so this is an example of following, and it's a pretty good jab. Okay, so Canelo's moved back to avoid this. Let's take a look here. Okay. I mean, good mechanics from GGG. Excellent. His mechanics are really good. So a little bit of a glancing blow. Maybe that landed somewhat, but not very well. So now he's a little bit off balance, bringing his arm back, and Canelo follows his arm and lands his own punch. Did GGG try to land twice with his right? Let's take another look.
His own uppercut with the right hand.
And it worked.
No, he didn't. So that's an example of following. Good example. Because when GGG's in that position, there's not a whole lot he can do. He needs to bring his weight back, or he needs to throw. He can.
With the right hand.
And it worked.
Yeah, he's just a little bit overcommitted to the punch, and Canelo takes advantage of that. That's a good shot right there.
Triple G walks right through it.
Okay, so what did he do? Did he get him to drop his arms?
Lands for Canelo. Triple G walks right through it.
Why does Canelo drop his arms there?
Right hand lands for Canelo.
Maybe he thinks that GGG is going to go to the body? So that's the second jab. Does GGG throw another jab? Okay, he tries to block it with his hand. That's why he drops his arm. And then that doesn't really land. Oh, no, that lands. Okay, very clever. So GGG must have seen this hook coming, read the body language. I mean, seen Canelo's body turn, and he moves with Canelo's incoming hook and comes over the top with his right. Very good. Very good shot. Excellent. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it did hurt, dude. Don't lie. Don't lie.
He did get hit.
What took for Canelo? Or for Triple G, I should say. Body punches by Triple G's. Trying to set himself
Yeah. GGG knows that this means yes, you know. GGG's he's juiced right now. He landed a good shot. He's feeling himself. He's feeling good. I'm excited just seeing that. Okay, a good way to get off the ropes there. He's not letting that demoralize. Canelo's not letting that big shot demoralize him. Because he knows he's tough, and he knows that what he's capable of.
Most combative round of the fight so far.
Nice job. A GGG round, I would guess, maybe. Nice little. Nice action from Canelo towards the end.
How do you feel?
But I don't think that's enough to look around. I don't remember. I stopped the fight too many times.
You made the mistake, like we talked about. If you stay against the ropes, he has the option to connect you with that punch that he did. Don't experiment, son. Eh? Okay. He's got the advantage because he has you against the ropes.
Now, if you're a trainer or you have a trainer, you can set up those types of practice for complementing and for following. You're working with someone with the mitts.
Right over the top of that right hand, over top of his left hook, with a beautiful right hand, landed more on the neck than it did on the jaw.
Look how much that moved his head.
Much effect on Canelo because it landed hit his neck more so than it hit his jaw.
So getting decent range, you'll have the trainer with the mitts, right? Go out and then catch it with the other hand for following and for complementing. You can do the same thing. Throw it and then have the guy you're working with respond. Or if your trainer's wearing the body armor, you can put out your jab and then have your fighter complement you to the body with the jab. Or with the right.
Is working for Canelo Alvarez. Another left hand to the body. Tremendous shot.
You see how physically strong Canelo is in the middle.
He's super robust, dude.
To turn the fight back around.
He's probably very I don't know if he works out with weights, but he's probably quite strong in the weight room.
Golovkin knew this would be the toughest fight of his career.
Like naturally strong.
So far, it's working out that way. Left hook for Golovkin.
Golovkin is a better boxer than people give him credit for, too. So he's boxing when he has to box. He's not out here just power slugging like we expected him to do now.
And he's a great jabber.
But in doing that, and he's kind of acquiescing, he's admitting that Canelo is nullifying his aggression.
Of course.
In the 4th and 5th, he was able to
Now
smartly while being
I'm going to talk about the result for a minute. Now, even if one fighter only does like 10% better or 1% better each round, the judge can. That was sneaky. The judge can give him every round. I mean, if it's he's doing 1% better. I mean, the guy could win the entire fight, right? And it would be by a huge margin.
Triple G hustled to cut the ring off, trap Canelo in the corner, land a right-hand body shot.
but didn't stay on him. Let him out of the corner.
Those didn't land that well. Nice jab. Yeah, those are getting through. I'll have to pay attention. I don't know if they're getting through now. That one easily got through Canelo's guard. That right hand landed too. Canelo's game, though. You know, he doesn't really let that kind of stuff slow him down. The guy's just super tough.
Canelo's shown throughout the fight, that championship mentality came right back with 2 of his own.
Immediately.
And that's because that 1-2 from Golovkin got his attention.
If there's a difference in the fight so far.
Yeah, it looks like at this point, GGG is kind of taking the fight. We'll have to see how it continues to unravel. Like I said, I haven't watched this fight probably since maybe the night of the fight.
We're doing good. You're doing it. Come on, man. Put some balls into it. Put your head in. All right? Please. Don't make a shame of him. Come on. Focus on what you're doing. Defend yourself. Straight shots. Block. Counterpunch, son. Vaseline. Vaseline. Okay, son? More jab. More jab. Lots of jabs. When you see he's going back, 3 punches. 3 punches.
Good grease, man. Gotta put more
What did
grease
you
in
say
there,
here?
man. Good grease, man. Gotta put more grease in there, man. Okay. So a little longer.
Here you see Canelo playing around, letting you know he's comfortable. He throws a shot behind the head, but to Triple G's credit, watch what Triple G does. He comes right back with a smack hook of his own to show that, yes, we're both in the
I've seen
same
Bernard
game.
Hopkins
So
do
both
that
guys
too.
are feeling equally confident right about now.
Halfway through the fight. Our unofficial score, Harold Letterman. How do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim.
GGG
I
up
got
by
it 4
2-3
rounds to
rounds,
2. 58, 56, Gennady Golovkin. You know, Jim, when Gennady backs him into the ropes, man, he hurts him. He does very, very well every time he takes Canelo into the ropes. There you go. He backs him up.
The jab landed
shots,
good
and when he
by
gets him on the
GGG.
ropes, he does that.
Most of those other ones were
4 rounds to 2,
inconsequential.
Gennady Golovkin.
Maybe.
It's funny
but
to see the dynamic
I
of
could see
who's
it
controlling the
3-3,
center of
and
the
I could see
ring.
some judges having it 4-2 the other way.
I agree. Could be scored any number of different ways
Yeah.
at this moment.
I agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
I like the position both guys
depends
are
on
in
what the
right
judges
now.
like
Both guys are very
sometimes,
confident
you know?
still. Both guys are giving us what we want. And if it
They
continues
might have-
like this, it looks like we'll have a
It's
part
usually
two,
the
I
same
hope.
criteria, but they might
This
look
is a really good fight right here.
A little bit more of a boxing
When I was
match
judging
than we
amateur
anticipated.
boxing,
More of a
sometimes
boxing
there would be
match than
things
most
that
of us
I would like
anticipated.
that a fighter
I like
would
the
do
chances for a big fight here in the
that
last
the
6
other
rounds
judges
tonight.
didn't really agree with.
As
But
they
I,
begin
you
to
know, I
get a
would
little bit looser, more comfortable firing with each other,
stick by
more
how
willing to
I
test
felt.
each other's chins and fortitude.
I mean, there is
Good hook early
room
in this round.
for some subjective interpretation.
hard out of his mouth.
Hard right hand by Triple G. Lands a jab
Some
behind
room.
him.
Seems like not a lot's been
Fight is
going on in
still
this round.
unclear.
Maybe I've just been
The
talking.
counter-punching of Canelo
Yap
wearing down
maxing.
Triple G, or
Good
is
shots.
Triple G's
So yeah, look at
success
GGG's
upstairs
body
starting to
language
get
is
to
quite
Canelo.
good.
You like to see Triple
But
G
you know,
go to the
Canelo,
body more. I think
you
that
can
would
see
serve
him right there. He's
better if he were going to Canelo's body a little bit
his
more.
moves a little bit down, but he doesn't really reveal.
I think he's worried about going to the body because he
A
doesn't
ton,
want to get
right?
countered upstairs by a giant Canelo shot.
But as close as he is, he's getting counted.
Which is
anyway.
actually
So he got
really
counted
good
just
because if
even
he
when he
doesn't
was when he was in the
betray, if
ring. So it doesn't matter, he's still getting counted.
his
Short of
attitude
the
does
body.
not betray perhaps how he feels, it doesn't give the opponent a lot of ammunition.
He traps Canelo in the corner and hits
Like
him
if
with two
he
jabs
looked
and a
really
right-hand
frustrated and hurt, I mean, he could also feign that, right? He could pretend, he could play possum, like pretend like he's hurt and try to make GGG make a mistake. But he doesn't really allow his attitude to reveal what he's feeling inside, at least right now. Not that he's really feeling bad,
But Triple G is
but
piling
he's
up
just a very
numbers.
tough guy.
Landing more punches. Was a terrific uppercut by Canelo, stopping Triple G in his tracks moments early. Triple G keeps coming.
He's on the attack big time.
So I think it's an easy round to score for GGG. Canelo landed a couple decent shots, but overall, I think easy to score that for
Nod of the head as he comes back to the corner.
Let him take that last
7
shot,
rounds
okay?
in.
You gotta be consistent the whole round. The last 20 seconds are very important, G. Okay, the last 20 seconds are very important. You can't just let him work the last 20 seconds, okay? When you hear 30 from Max, you gotta put it on.
Восьмой раунд, Ген. Только начинается. Джеб,
Deep breath.
Throw more of the left. Combinations. More combinations, son. Okay, yes. Well, let's go.
You can't just tell someone to throw more combinations. They have to be there. They have to be available. The openings have to be available.
7 rounds in. CompuBox numbers finding Golovkin outlanding Canelo.
You have to create
every
the
round
openings.
but one, the second. CompuBox numbers not always the full story of the fight. Harold Letterman with Golovkin building a lead on his unofficial scorecard.
Yes, and I think that's right. Triple G is having increasing success. I said the story of the fight's unclear.
Now, what could Canelo do to turn
One
things
trend is that
around?
Triple G is getting to Canelo increasingly as the fight goes on.
He's making more opportunities for himself. He's throwing more.
He needs to continue using head movement like we saw before,
Canelo is simply walking
and then
away
counter, which
and
is what he's strong
establishing
at.
that Triple
GGG
G
is still
to be
staying in his
aggressive.
range, so
There's
that hasn't
the
really
right hand by
changed.
Canelo.
Very hard
Starts to
right hand.
follow it up. Doesn't come with anything.
Good jab by Triple.
Jab by
Maybe he's
Golovkin.
just gotten a little bit tired, and it's difficult for him to get out of the way. At this point, probably those punches are having some cumulative effect. I mean, inevitably.
A much more careful boxing match on both sides.
And GGG
than a
looks,
lot of people thought
you know,
would
he
be
looks
the
pretty
case,
fresh.
particularly from Golovkin.
Abel Sanchez trained Triple G to
Good
fight
jab by
Julio
GGG,
Cesar
and then he
Chavez
gets out of the
Sr.
way.
Sanchez trained
Oh,
Triple G
look
to
at
fight
that.
Particularly from Golovkin.
Abel Sanchez trained Triple G to fight like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
He lands,
in a Mexican style,
he slips some
but
punches,
Eastern
disengages, and then
European
comes
influence
right back.
in Golovkin
Disengages,
from the
comes right
amateurs,
back. Let's see
certainly.
what he does here. It's probably going to be a pattern.
Has a certain amount
Land
of
some
caution on
punches,
his offense,
wait for a
even
response
with
from
Canelo
Canelo,
on the ropes.
head movement to
Shot by
slip,
Canelo and a good uppercut
maybe
by
counter his
Triple G.
own, and then disengage, and then come
Knows
back.
how to box. Using that boxing ability now. Not just all out slugging like we expect to see him do. Triple G, that is.
Kenny Bayless is a G. He always, if you ever go to a fight and he's reffing, he'll come out afterwards and talk to you. He's very approachable, nice guy.
Once again, Golovkin's footwork puts Canelo in a corner. Golovkin steps to the left side. and
GGG
fires
has
an
good
uppercut.
mechanics.
Just missing with a big right hand there.
Yeah, Canelo has to do something to slow Triple G down now. He's giving Triple G too much confidence.
Do I dare say that between the two of them, GGG has better mechanics? Potentially. Potentially.
When your opponent walks through shots like that, what can you do?
Well, that's the first one of those he hit.
When your opponent
Nice hook, and then he gets out of the way.
shots like that, what can you do?
Well, that's the first one of those you hit him with, though, Max.
Golovkin more than doubling Canelo in landed punches this round. It's the tempo. He's just keeping up the tempo. Throwing, throwing, throwing. Canelo throwing one punch at a time way too often.
Good body shot.
Firing in combination.
That's probably what his corner saw. But then again, does he have the opportunity to throw more than one? Unless he's against the ropes, not really.
Who is out strategizing Canelo at this moment?
Yes, he is.
He could land a big shot of his own to slow GGG down. It's probably a combination of GGG's powerful shots and their cumulative effect.
Throw it like a hook, a long hook, because he's moving into it, all right? There we go. Good, good round. Just make sure that we don't let him work. Watch that uppercut too. See that uppercut, okay? Okay, deep breath. Good, good pressure. Just a little more effective with the shots, okay?
Here you see two good fighters. Triple G lands Canelo lands a right uppercut, right.
That's good.
Very good shot by
That
Canelo.
did not feel good.
You see Triple G land his own version of it. A jab followed by a left uppercut right on the beard.
So look at this mechanics.
A jab followed
So hook mechanics and uppercut mechanics are almost exactly the same. It might sound strange, but uppercut is also mediated and I don't know what the right word is. It is powered by hip rotation, the same type of hip rotation as an uppercut. And you'll see that right here. GGG's weight is on his left foot. And he's going to rotate his pelvis here, probably pushing off from it. He's straightening out his leg. So he's using hip extension to rotate his pelvis. And instead of coming from the side, he's turning his body and his torso, and it's just coming up. It's virtually the same mechanics. And Canelo sort of sees it coming, tries to get out of the way, but that doesn't land with full power. Actually, that didn't really land that well at all, I think. No, it landed.
followed by a left uppercut.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. He tried to get out of the way, but it caught him anyway.
Neither of those Triple G shots landed, but increasingly he is becoming the avalanche in this fight.
They landed, they just didn't land as clean as
The cumulative effect of his punches at this point is starting to snowball.
See the jab numbers in the last round. That's really been the weapon for Triple G tonight. Pumping that jab, landing in big numbers compared to Canelo. Canelo, who seemed to have Triple G intimidated early in the fight, with his
reasonable,
power
you know.
and his body shots, has not thrown as many punches in recent rounds.
Like I said, I'm not
Now there's a Canelo
really
rally.
strictly scoring this, but my
Now there's a Canelo rally. Many
impression of the
punches
fight
in recent rounds.
that's reasonable.
Now there's a Canelo rally. Body shot, right hand upstairs, but here comes Gennady.
Yeah, is Canelo tired? That landed. Nice hook from GGG. Nice hook. I'm getting these confused sometimes. I'll try to catch myself when I make a mistake.
Lands again. Pins him to the ropes. Jab. Right hand just missed. Right hand landed. Golovkin is thinking power at this moment. Left hook over the top.
Hopefully this is
Right hand missed.
interesting for
Right
you
hand landed.
guys. I know it's just not like people like these short little things like YouTube shorts and stuff, but you're not really going to convey a ton of information in a format like that.
Canelo against the ropes.
So hopefully this insight is useful to you if you're a coach, trainer, or
Right hand by Triple G.
boxer.
It put a great
Or,
first half of the
oh wow,
hard right hand by Triple G. It put a great first half of the ninth round for him. Hard right
let's watch
hand
that
by
again and then
Triple
I'll
G.
look at the
It put a
mechanics.
great first half of
Oh man, that's a big shot, dude.
right hand by
Holy
Triple
shit. Fucking GGG's got a chin, man. This is the same type of overhand mechanics that I did in my last video. Sorry if this is slow. Okay. Planting his foot. He's loading his muscles, loading his tissues, exploding with that loaded elastic muscle energy to power his hips into rotation. His hips at this point have pretty much stopped moving. They're going to move a little bit more, but his arm has accelerated relative to his pelvis. And big shot.
Tap of the ninth round for him. Crowd gets excited as Canelo fires back with counter shots.
Big shot. Biggest shot of the round. If not a whole lot more happens in this round, that could win Canelo the round.
We've always given Triple G credit for his chin. He is showing it tonight.
Hell of a chin. In my training program, I talk about the different vectors, the type of acceleration you might create in the head to create a knockout, and that would have been angular acceleration. Hit to the temple or the side of the head causes this angular acceleration in the brain, and knockout or a concussion from that. Nice little uppercut, not a big shot.
Triple G seeing the body opportunities more now when Canelo's on the ropes.
Yeah, Canelo doesn't have quite the spring in his step that he did towards the beginning of the fight.
Golovkin landing more power punches in this one.
Yeah.
A hard right hand by Canelo.
And you've heard people say that when someone shakes their head no, it usually means yes.
Landing more power punches in this one. Here's a hard right hand by Canelo. And he mixes with a big one over the top. And now Canelo chases him again.
You could give this round to Canelo, I think.
Comes to an end.
I think that would be not unreasonable.
Ninth round was a big one.
You see how Harold scored it.
Three rounds. 10, 11, 12. How do you feel, son? What? How do you feel, son? Good.
They had a lot more punches.
Ten, 11, 12. These are for your life. 3 perfect rounds, son. Speed, move them, advance, stop them with your left, and don't stand the ropes.
Thank you.
He see Golovkin come in with a jab, right hand, best right hand. I seen him throw straight. But then Canelo comes back as he's attacking and counters with a beautiful left hook to the head, which I think was his best.
Yeah, nice little response by Canelo there.
With the overhand right over the top of the jab.
Yeah, this is the one that I highlighted.
Boom, right on the jaw. Very meaningful overhand right.
Okay, actually, if that landed a little bit higher, it would have done a lot more damage. That kind of landed on his cheek, and it seemed to be more of a glancing blow. But you know, it counts.
Canelo's still landing the most effective punches.
Let's see how Harold Letterman has it through 9. Harold?
Okay, Jim, thank you. 7 rounds to 2.
Okay, he gave the last one to GGG.
83. Gennady Golovkin.
I wouldn't be upset if someone gave that to Canelo. I mean, we know the outcome of the fight, right? So obviously someone gave it to Canelo.
7 rounds to 2. Gennady Golovkin.
Meantime, so far, Canelo's let Triple G have it in this fight.
Let's go back and forth there. Let's see what happened.
Canelo's let Triple G have it in this fight.
That must have been just that right.
Meantime, so far, Canelo's let Triple G have it in this fight.
Yeah.
This is a huge start for the 10th round for Canelo Alvarez. You heard Eddie Reynoso saying to him, we need the 3 rounds of a lifetime.
Good start for Canelo here. A couple jabs that interrupted his momentum, but comes right back.
Now Golovkin with a right hand over the top himself. Canelo throwing and throwing. Canelo throwing and throwing.
It's rock'em sock'em robots right now.
Yes, sir. Now a fight has broken out for sure.
Left hook lands for Golovkin. Right hand lands for Golovkin.
Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads.
inspired.
Those don't really land. That landed. Those are good jabs.
Right hand. Canelo needs a big counter shot again.
Let's see what happened there. So that was an attempt, perhaps at, I don't know if it's intentional, but it's a compliment, right?
Right hand.
Let's take a look here. That right's gonna come out. Okay. So you see what's happening. GGG's jab's coming out. Canelo's is coming out too. I think GGG's lands a little bit more emphatically.
Jab, right hand. Canelo needs a big counter shot.
Canelo would have had to slip a little bit more. That was very quick though.
Golovkin's footwork, always a factor. Pressure.
That was a nice little lead right from GGG. It's very fast. Another nice one.
Gets Canelo on the ropes one more time. Canelo's energy has gone down after the brilliant start to the round. Now it's Golovkin with momentum. Misses the right hand over the top.
Tie him up. Get a little breather. Canelo's probably exhausted at this point. GGG still looks pretty. I mean, he's going to be tired too, but he's not exhausted, right?
Good hard shots by Canelo, but Golovkin taking them well. They both landed the same number of power shots in the fight.
Interesting.
Golovkin has landed many more jabs than Canelo Alvarez. And now Golovkin with
Good combo.
and another jab and a right hand. Canelo missing.
Yeah, a lot of swinging, not a ton of
To the body. That's what serves him
meaningful
best.
punches in this
Golovkin
round.
thinks he hurt him with the right hand. What around the 10th club.
Let's see if we hear anything from the corners.
2 rounds. There's 2 rounds left. How do you feel? 6 minutes, son, okay? We've got him here. We've got him.
I think
2
that's
minutes.
optimistic thinking. Divide. Come on.
A good left hook right hand. The right hand over the top with the better punch.
Yeah.
Then he deflects Triple G's right hand, which knocked Triple G off balance. He wasn't hurt by the punch.
Yeah.
He was knocked off balance by this deflection. Beautiful defense, though, with land the right hand and deflect the overhand right with his own left hand.
Yeah. He's
Beautiful
like
defense
tangled up a
by
little bit.
Canelo Alvarez.
Absolutely brilliant. That was at the beginning of the round. Canelo was mounting a big rally. Down the stretch in the round, it was Golovkin who backed Canelo up and was landing more punches. Now they come to the 11th. In the 10th, they combine.
Yeah, if that last round went to Canelo, I wouldn't be too upset. Nice right from Canelo right here.
Trying to land a fight high, 26 power shots. You knew the fight would break out eventually.
Yeah, give it to GGG.
Harold Letterman's on a
I'm not really upset with that either.
And if the other scorecards are in line with that, then that would suggest that Canelo needs a knockout. But there's no
Because
reason
Canelo's
the
still
scorecards will be
on the
exactly
retreat.
what
I'm going to make a video for you guys
body shot by
on mechanics of how to jab and hook backwards while you're moving backwards.
And they touch gloves as he acknowledges.
A lot of people say that you can't fight going backwards, and I mean you can't like have meaningful engagements when you're going backwards, but you know you could do like the Matador Bull thing and pepper some jabs, some hooks.
Canelo Alvarez unable in this first minute of the 11th find the kind of fire and rally that he created in the first minute of the 10th. And now Golovkin has him against the ropes again.
Now, I don't know about the scorecards right now. Triple G looks like he has won most rounds in the fight, but he started out slowly. If you give away the first 3 rounds, which he may have, not just give
Yeah,
them away,
that's
Canelo fought and won them,
I like Max Kellerman a lot.
and then it doesn't take
I miss this team, dude.
to be in the fight. 1 or 2
It was so the HBO productions were so good. That was a big jab.
Since then, went Canelo's way. He's in this fight.
Look at Canelo's head
Right by Triple G.
move after that.
Right hand by Canelo.
So these guys are obviously pretty tired at this point. Another couple good shots from Canelo there.
Walking straight toward him.
Doesn't care nothing about those right hands.
Talked about the need for Golovkin to walk through fire tonight, Max Kellerman. In these last few rounds, he's shown that he's willing to do it.
Yes, you're right. And that's led to his success in the second half of the fight. But those shots still score for Canelo.
100%.
Not too much to comment on right now.
Golovkin came very close.
They're kind of just fighting on like instinct at this point.
As he has all night long. Right hand for Golovkin, left hook for Golovkin. Single biggest difference in the fight has been Golovkin's effectiveness with the jab.
Yes, the jab has been the difference.
But we haven't seen Golovkin's fearsome power on display in this fight.
We have not one time.
GGG still controlling the ring very well.
Seen him try it.
Canelo's getting some
Maybe Canelo has
counters here and there, but they're not terribly effective.
That was a great hook by both guys, though.
But Canelo's just a super tough guy. He doesn't really give you anything, right? That
but Golovkin
as far as too much evidence of his feeling or condition. Like you'll never know what he's doing.
That's it. Breathe, breathe, breathe again.
Poker face.
Son, he's got no option to come out like a dog.
Like I've never seen him take a big sigh, you know, or
Make a mess.
look like he's that uncomfortable.
Like a dog. Forward punch.
Yeah, we got it. Last one. 3 minutes, all 3 minutes, okay? Don't let him rest.
I'll have to look at their records up until this point. Canelo's the bigger fighter, so you know maybe the judges gave him consideration in that regard. And everyone wants to say, "Oh, boxing is so crooked and whatnot."
in the CompuBox numbers. Now we
But you know, all things being equal, the guy who has the more momentum and who commercially is a bigger success, bigger draw, bigger box office numbers,
They're throwing knockout punches now.
you know that it ends up counting.
right hand that may momentarily have bothered Golovkin.
If not as an overt decision by the judges, then perhaps
Fighting as though he believes he
subconsciously.
needs something big.
Good uppercut.
Yeah, we didn't really see that.
Uppercut.
Golovkin leaned right into
No,
the
I thought GGG may have responded to that, but Kenny was saying something.
into the uppercut.
He did.
It's been a great start to the 12th round for Canelo Alvarez. He's been accurate. Golovkin has not.
Huh. I mean, those weren't like the most clean, but those were certainly landing. That's good.
Don't let him rest. But Canelo's not trying to rest.
Oh, and Canelo coming. Triple G is walking right through those big punches.
It's been a huge round for
Good
Canelo
shots.
Alvarez so far. And now Golovkin
I haven't seen a ton of great shots land this round from GGG. Canelo's turning it on.
And Golovkin lands a right hand. And that backs Canelo off.
Yeah, I mean, those count.
Kenny Bayless says, watch your heads. Bayless has the best view of what is becoming a great fight. Fire and fury in Las Vegas.
I know a lot of you guys were asking for GGG mechanics, so hopefully this offers you a little bit of insight. I'll make a more formal video for him too. Maybe his knockout of Macklin. I was actually just going to watch this for material, but then I thought we could watch it together. So hopefully this has been interesting to you. Whoever's still here,
Just missed with the right hand.
hope you learned something.
We waited
or I was able to offer some insight, you know, that benefits you.
From an offensive standpoint in the world. And early in the fight, they both seemed a little bit cautious, although Canelo was less so and landed the bigger shots. But then in the middle of the
I think overall, not terribly challenging to score this for GGG. I think pretty clearly won, even if you gave Canelo the last 2 rounds. Even if you gave Canelo the last 2 rounds, I think won like 9th or something, maybe one of those. I said could have gone to Canelo, and then a few rounds in the beginning. It still would have been 7-5. Do I think it was a robbery? I think 118-110 is not reflective of what happened in the fight. GGG should have had this fight for him. It's been ages since I saw the whole trilogy, so I'll have to go back and take a look at the other 2. But we'll wind it down here. That's about it. Let me know in the comments if this was useful to you. If you'd like to see commentary on any other fights, I'm happy to do them. This is like one of my favorite things to do, is just to talk, think, and watch boxing. So if there's any full fights you want me to comment on, let me know in the comments. And I think I'm going to do one for Floyd versus Jose Luis Castillo #1, because it's always a point of contention amongst fans on how to score that. Harold Letterman won 16-112. Okay, so he gave Canelo the last 2 rounds. That's fair. I think that's totally reasonable.
This is officially a draw.
Oh, it was a draw. Okay. Is that reasonable? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it was a draw. I think GGG.
No, that did not happen. That is
GGG had the.
But at the end of the day,
had
a draw is
more
a result
for him.
that should be satisfying enough for boxing fans, because it means we'll get to
You'll see a second.
And that's exactly
Probably a
what we
third,
all
which we
want.
did. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.